you see that when you're practicing with the player? Can you see that confidence kind of switch? Maybe I know he kind of looked a little lost. Even he said last season at practice at this time.
Yeah, you can see it from the jump. I mean, when we all come back in the summer, that's when you could really see like, who's been working, who's really been diligent on, the things they want to improve on. So, I mean, everyone on the team really has taken the jump. But Collins was definitely, huge.
How difficult was it? You played Loyola and Tennessee Tech between Michigan State and now. I mean, how difficult was it to not look past?
Yeah, it's really challenging. But we always talk about we have to be where our feet are. The game that we're about to play is the most important game. So, I mean, we do want to, after those games, we were eager to get back, playing that high level competition. But we got to handle what's right in front of us.
You guys talk about your free throw shooting's been great this year. You haven't been getting to the line as often as last year. Is there anything you can point to that? Is that something you're trying to address before getting more to the line?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I haven't been getting to the line as much. That's just me driving to the paint more. I feel like I got to get downhill, get to 2 feet more. And then just force the issue, force the refs to make some calls. And then, my free throw's been good, so I just got to get there more.
You mentioned the Collin obviously shooting the ball great. Kind of basically everybody else struggling a little. How much of that not getting to the rim is the spacing just maybe not being there as much this early in the season?
Yeah, it's just we got a lot of new guys, so it's just that chemistry piece in terms of playing our offense, and then on top of that playing through the talent that we have. So. It's definitely, an adjustment, that we're going to have to, figure out. But we have so many different lineups where, we have a downhill lineup, we have a defense lineup, we have a shooting lineup. So it's a matter of, playing them at the right time. And then, regardless who's on the court, we have to find ways to be effective. So we practice that every single day, so we should know, regardless who's out there, how to be effective.
One guy who's not playing, Braden Hawthorne, but I know you guys get to see quite a bit of him, I'm sure, in practice. Just what have you seen from his game?
Yeah, he's doing the typical like freshman loop for real. Like, in the beginning, you're kind of figuring it out. It's probably your head spinning. A whole lot is getting thrown at you. But now he's real comfortable. We've seen him in practice every day. I even said the other day, I was like, bro, you figuring it out? And he's like, yeah, he's starting to understand, the speed, the rhythm, just everything. Not just playing, you got to think it. So, Braden really good. It's just a matter of when he gets on the court, he's going to be really effective.
Can you see that even with him just out there against the air, watching him before games in a row, just the way he shoots, his footwork, it just seems really impressive. It's got to come at some point.
Yeah, he's super advanced, and he's young too, so it's all that is just natural. I feel like once he really figures out, his game and himself, that's when he's really going to take that jump.
And how much strength-wise, especially going up against a very physical team and you guys, is a big part of it just getting stronger.
Yeah, literally. And even, us guarding him every single day is going to make him way better. So I feel like he's definitely figuring it out. He's knowing that, practice is where he's really going to get better and, get comfortable for the game. So he's definitely been taking advantage of it.
Obviously, North Carolina, a very historic program. You guys then do top of the top. Do you know anyone on the current team? And if not, do you have maybe a favorite player all time from UNC?
No, I don't know anyone from the current team. And then all time, I'll say Michael Jordan.
Good answer. I'm sure you got asked this before, but with UNC playing Michigan State and you guys playing Michigan State, what were you guys able to learn, and how much have you watched that game when they played each other?
Yeah, we watched it. We just saw how physical they were. That's really gonna be every team now. Everyone's being physical. Everyone's really crashing the board. So that's something we got to really prepare for. And on top of that, the speed that they're playing with. And then they getting to the free throw line a lot, so we just got to play honest and not foul.
Sounds like your game. So how excited are you to play against some guys that like to play the same way you do?
I'm excited, just to get back out there and play one of those top teams, especially on the home court too. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Seeing Moreno and Cam are playing together. What do you like about those two working together, and how does it maybe help you a little bit differently than the other lineups?
Yeah, well, when they both out there, Malachi, he's going to defend the rim, at a high level. He's been really being that second defender for us. And then Cam, he's just gonna go out there and do everything. He's gonna shoot, he's gonna crash, he's gonna guard, super athletic. So it kind of switches it up. And then both of them together, it's just it's a different look, and it's been good for us.
Talked about Malachi defending really well. He's got only 2 fouls in the season, but he's still leading in blocks and rebounds.
He has 2 fouls.
Yeah. But he's defending really well at the rim. Just how difficult is that for someone like him, who's still very active, but is able to not put his hands there essentially when guys are coming at him?
Yeah, it's huge. He's 7 foot, so a lot of like big guys when they're 7 foot, they don't realize that they can just stand there and be a presence, but Mally does, so that's huge. And on top of that, when we could have someone like if we have low buys, it forces us to be extra aggressive, knowing that Mally has our back to clean it up. So I mean that's definitely a good look for us when we could send guards to the paint and he's just going to erase it.
I know you said you were 100% before the season started.
Yeah.
But you did miss about a month or so in the summer. So how are you feeling now that you've played, 5 or so games with that turf toe?
I'm feeling good. My toes not bothering me at all. Legs feeling really good. They were a little heavy, but now I feel really good. Just movement-wise, yeah.
Was there kind of a ramp-up process for you of getting back into your field when the games actually started?
Yeah, when the game starts, I feel like I'm 100%, but then it's when the game ends, that's when I really feel it. So, I was the whole time when I was getting back from injury, I kept on saying I'm gonna come back like I ain't miss a beat, like I'm gonna just be 100% perfect. But that wasn't the case. But now I'm feeling good.
I'm sure you probably talked about it earlier, but North Carolina very physical. Caleb likes to get downhill. 6'8", can jump, do all those things. How hard is it going to be to stay in front and make sure he doesn't get to the basket like he likes to?
Yeah.
Playing physical but not fouling at the same time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a challenge, but that's what I was saying earlier. We just gotta set the tone, from the jump. Like as soon as the tip ball, we gotta show that we're gonna be physical, so that the refs know that's how this game gonna be played. And on top of that, we just have to stay in front of him, in between the rim. We've played guys like that who they're really good at getting downhill, getting to the free throw line. So we just gotta stay honest, but be aggressive.
Obviously, the last 2 big games didn't go your guys' way, but this one's at home. How much of a factor do you think it will be, especially playing at Louisville and hearing how loud their crowd was for that one? So, how big do you think this one will be, especially with home court advantage?
Yeah, anytime we get to play these type of games on the home court, it's huge. I feel like it's definitely going to factor in to just like you said, the home court advantage, and then on top of that, no better place to play these type of games. And we really just excited to get back out there. It's another opportunity for us to, to change the script.
You mentioned setting the tone right from the jump. I know it's only been 2 games, but working through some different lineups with Mo out injured, how much has that been a benefit to the team? And I guess maybe how do you guys try to account for the physicality that you're missing with him while he's out injured?
Yeah, it's next man up. We've had a couple of hits to our lineup. Pretty much since the summer. So, we've been used to, different lineups and next man up mentality. So now it's just, playing ultra aggressive, knowing that one of our, defensive leaders are out. So, Cam has been doing a good job of, stepping in and, doing the best he can, which has been really good. And on top of that, everyone's ready and eager to play. So no matter who's out there, no matter who's suiting up, they're going to go out there and be, effective.
And this is just the first big game of a very big month for you guys. How important is it to not only get a win tomorrow, but also maybe potentially, stack some wins, snowball, and kind of, find your group?
Yeah, it's important. But, we're looking at it one game at a time. That would be great, if we could start stacking, some momentum, stuff like that. But, we're just going to look at it one game at a time.
Y'all still talking about Walker's 3?
A little bit, I'll watch the video, a couple times, just randomly because it's crazy. You know, we was super excited for him. We know what he does in practice. He be lighting us up, but you know, he got to finally do it in the game, so it was really cool.
How was your holiday break? What you do, what you eat, and then do you think maybe going away back home and then coming back is a good way to kind of reset, recharge before a very important month?
Yeah, Thanksgiving was good. You know, got to spend some time with a lot of teammates, friends. Ate some good food, so you know that was a good thing. But you know, I wouldn't say it was tarnished because we lost, but you know we was all. I know everyone else was thinking the same thing. You know, they just ready to get back out there and hoop. So.
Colin talked about maybe in a time like this when you need a reset or to kind of get the season going. Again, you guys are looking inward rather than outward, just kind of turning to your teammates and coaches. I guess how much of a focus is that, and is that something that's difficult to do? You know, just when it feels like the sky might be falling at times, to just look inward and try and find the source of inspiration from your teammates.
Yeah, it's hard, but you know that's. I feel like those are characteristics that the best teams have. You know, when things aren't going well, instead of listening to the outside noise and what everyone else is saying, just huddle together. You know, we're the only people that's gonna believe is the people that are out there on the court. So, we just got to turn to each other. Believe in each other. We're with each other every single day. For pretty much most of the day. So. We all we got. That's what we just gotta keep on saying, and we gotta like really believe it. When we go out there, play for each other, play for one another, and then kind of what Collin said, just look inward.
Good guys.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah.
Jordan, let me know when you're good.
Collin, just how was last week kind of navigating the post, last couple of weeks before that level of competition while also kind of knowing that North Carolina was kind of waiting for you?
Yeah, well, it's a tough part of preparation and an important part of preparation is only looking forward to the next game being the biggest game. And so I actually think we've done a good job as a team doing that and in keeping our focus on what's ahead of us. Because we're playing a bunch of Division I opponents. They're all good players, and so these last few games have been great for us in learning and getting better. So just so happens the next game is North Carolina that we're excited for. It's our next biggest game. So.
What's the level of hunger, knowing that the previous couple tests, bigger tests, haven't gone as planned, and knowing that you guys are still kind of looking to prove yourselves on the national stage against
for sure.
big name pro?
Yeah, for sure. I think we're hungry and excited for it. We're not shy about it. We're not shying away from North Carolina. We're coming in there ready to win, and that's I feel like we've prepared a lot for it, and we're doing everything we can to be ready for that game.
How are you preparing for the 9:30 tip?
Yeah, maybe going to bed later, sleeping in. No. I don't know. I think we've had later games. We prepare the same way, just I guess starting a little bit later. So we'll see how that goes, and it'll just be a late night for sure.
Just in terms of the scout itself with North Carolina, what have you seen from them? What do there's certain things that you're keeping an eye on?
Yeah, I think they're actually very similar to us in the way we play, and they've got a lot of good players. And Caleb Wilson, he's been a problem for a lot of teams that they play, and so we're ready for him and what he brings. He brings a lot, and so we're excited for the matchups that's going to bring. And but they're a bunch of good players and a good team, and they've been competing. It's kind of fun. We got to watch Michigan State, who we had already played, play them, and So kind of gauge a lot from there and how we're going to play. So yeah, not to give too much away, but we're
Yeah, I guess.
ready.
What did you learn from watching the Michigan State? Because there is a lot to take away from the things that you did well or didn't do well in that one too.
For sure, and I think in every game, it's going to come down to, like, they were neck and neck until the last 7 minutes, and that's just when North Carolina sort of broke. We talk about Jenga being played, and that's kind of when they fell a little bit, and so I think it's just going to be a game of who can last the longest, who can play the longest, who can play all 40 minutes, and I think that's going to be a challenge the whole season, but especially this game on Tuesday.
Another historic program. Do you know anyone on the team, or do you have maybe a favorite player all time that maybe went to UNC?
In high school, I got to play a little bit with Seth Trimble. Unfortunately, he's dealing with an injury right now, so he's not playing. But I keep in touch with him. We text back and forth every once in a while. And I know Caleb a little bit just because when he was visiting here, I was there going to dinner and stuff with him, so I got to know him a little bit. So I know a few kids. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about his game.